Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
This is awesome! This is awesome!
Hello and welcome once again to Cheap Shot Entertainment. Once again, I am your host Luke, and this is Wrestling Friends review of NXT UK number 43. It was released on the WWE Network on the 15th of May 2019, and don't forget that you are the Cheap Shot Nation. You are what makes us tick. So join us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter to carry on watching everything that we do and all the posts that we make. And there's some random ones as well, so it's not all about wrestling, it's about other sports and random bits and bobs. Well, this was filmed in the Braehead Arena in Glasgow. We're still north of the border, Gallus territory, and that would come into play later on in the show. But wrestling heavy again, really enjoying NXT UK in the recent weeks. Definitely wrestling heavy. A few promotions in there as well. Obviously, Money in the Bank is coming up on Sunday, and we'll have some predictions for that. Unfortunately, we will not be with the Squared Circle Jobbers co-owner in Benjamin Tucker, but he will be at the Cheap Shot Entertainment announce desk for a review of that, so keep it locked right here on the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to know when we upload new content to the show. But without further ado, we've got a lot to get through in NXT UK number 43, so let's get on with the show. So your first contest is a squash match, and it's scheduled for, a singles match, scheduled for 1 4. It features Piper Niven, one of the newest stars in the NXT UK women's roster, a roster that has got strength and depth, and it's absolutely fantastic to see all these ladies in NXT UK. And she's going against Jamie Hayter, someone who I have a little bit of beef with from WrestleGate Pro back in March. So Jamie, you. How was it like getting squashed by Piper Niven? Because this was a squash match. Basically, Jamie Hayter got the advantage early on in this match, but it wasn't too long before Piper Niven used her strength and got back on top of this one. Basically, Jamie Hayter slapped Piper Niven in the face straight on, saying, "I'm embarrassing you in your hometown." Headbutt, crossbody, cannonball, Michinoku driver, finish. 5 moves of doom from Piper Niven, and she puts away Jamie Hayter in this match. Very quick match, absolute squash, but lovely to see Jamie Hayter getting her comeuppance in this match. Also, on a side note, regardless of the beef and things like that, it's good to see Jamie Hayter on NXT UK finally getting picked up. She is a fantastic wrestler, regardless of what I think of her character. So we move on. Obviously, this goes straight into Toni Storm talking about Nina Samuels. Of course, it's the women's division. You might as well have some continuity. And this is the other thing I really like about NXT UK is the continuity of it. They're building a storyline. They're continuing with the storyline. They're building it up several weeks beforehand. It's something that the main roster fails in doing time and time again, and that's been the crux of everything that's been going off on the main roster. But we're not talking about main roster, we're talking about indie wrestling or indie professional wrestling in terms of NXT and NXT UK. She talks Nina Samuels and accepts a match with her after some scathing words from Nina Samuels about Toni Storm and her family. So we move on. We get a promo for Money in the Bank. Obviously, that's this Sunday on the 19th of May 2019. We get next another match. It's a qualifier for the fatal four-way match taking place in 2 weeks' time. It is Ligero, a chap that I've seen wrestle pretty much everywhere that I've been. Certainly a staple in the East Midlands before he got signed to NXT UK. Versus Jordan Devlin, a chap that I didn't really like to start with, but I'm warming up to him. He backs up his words, and I like that. I really like that in a wrestler. Devlin takes control after an early flourish from Ligero, takes control on the outside of the ring. He rams Ligero into the barricade and then into the corner of the ring, into the apron of the ring rather, and sends him back into the ring. He hits a standing Uranagi and a standing moonsault, and Devlin is still in complete control in this near fall there. Ligero does mount a little bit of a comeback. He uses his sort of roly-poly finish to try and get the pin. Doesn't get the pin. Devlin's all over the place in absolute jeopardy, but Ligero goes for the high-flying top rope splash that he is known for. Devlin gets the knees up, targeting that rib area again, which has been a target all match. Devlin then goes up, but misses the moonsault as Ligero puts his feet up to hit Devlin in the face. But Devlin would eventually come out on top, winning via when Ligero tries to hit a springboard DDT. Devlin counters this, catches Ligero into a high angle backdrop driver for the win. Knocks the wind completely out of him. That's it. Win. And that's over. Not the usual finish for Devlin, but it was very much effective. So your winner in this match, moving on to the fatal four-way match in 2 weeks' time, is Jordan Devlin. And Devlin talks about how he is the #1 contender without having to do all of this other stuff. He should be given another chance. He's had a couple of chances. He's proven that he can go, but he's not actually reached that last rung of the ladder just yet. So yeah, you don't bet against the ace, and in this one I wouldn't bet against the ace, but I think it's time for someone else to have a go at Walter. And at this point in time, between the two people that have gone through, Joe Coffey and Devlin, Joe Coffey definitely has a shout, so does Jordan Devlin. So this match is building up really, really well for 2 weeks' time. Of course, the continuity continues. Walter then talks about Pete Dunne. We had a video package of Pete Dunne training last week. We get Walter talking to the camera. He doesn't usually speak a lot, but he's very well spoken for an Austrian wrestler called the Ring General who doesn't speak much. Very well spoken indeed. More customers at the leisure centre should be noted. Anyway. So we next get the debut of Ilya Dragunov, a Russian competitor. We've seen him in WrestleGate Pro in March. Really impressive. He lost against Robbie X, unfortunately, but his intensity is just phenomenally insane, and definitely a future #1 contender for the UK Championship. Although as we're getting more and more European people coming over and more European competitors, you'd wonder whether they'd go back to the European moniker or maybe even have a secondary title as the European Championship. But who knows what that's going to lead to. We're at NXT UK and that's the way it's staying for now. He's going against Jack Stars, a good young competitor who has not had the greatest show in NXT UK. He's often been a jobber, and it's no different here. You could even call him Jack the Jobber. Hello, Quarterholic. Anyway, like I say, Jack Stars did get a little bit of offense in here, but the intensity of Dragunov just overwhelmed him. Dragunov was on top from the start of this match. Jack Stars just didn't really get any offense in at all. He would win with the Torpedo Moscow, which is the European uppercut with a run from the corner. Jack Stars couldn't contend with this, and we get the 1-2-3. Urge Dragunov wins in a squash match over Jack Stars. I'm sure Jack will get a victory soon, but in this one, obviously, he's there to put Dragunov over, and he does a pretty good job of that. So yeah, really impressed with Dragunov. We next get a backstage interview with Noam Dar and Mark Andrews, who both got stretched out in a couple of weeks ago when they had a match. Looks really nasty for Noam Dar with his previous history of knee injuries. It's good to see him back. He's changed his tune now, so we're going to get a Noam Dar Mark Andrews 2 match. So we're going to get them again in a couple of weeks' time. It was a really good match, actually. I'm not a massive fan of Mark Andrews. I do like Noam Dar. But this match was really good. I can't remember which episode it was on, but it was pretty decent. So have a look back at those if you have the network. Hashtag 999. So yeah, that's a good thing. We next get some more women's action. It is Killer Kelly versus Zaya Brookside. I have met Zaya Brookside in Sheffield when we went to Southside Wrestling. She is absolutely lovely, very petite, but she's lovely, and yeah, really nice. Really nice WWE superstar that could meet for £10. Don't know if you're British pounds I met her for, so that was really cool. I got a signed photo as well, so that was also very cool. So we get a very even match between these two. I like both of these young ladies. Killer Kelly's been around for a couple of years now in the original, the inaugural Mae Young Classic. Zaya Brookside was in last year's Classic. Didn't have a good account by all accounts in that tournament, but has certainly proven that she can go in NXT UK. Anyway, after a sporting handshake, after the initial stalemate is reached, we get interrupted by Ginny, who walks out to the ring. I'm not quite sure why Ginny was here to introduce the next person, but she brings out a massive German lady known as Jazzy Gabbard. We saw her in the Mae Young Classic in 2018 as well. Really impressed by this lady. Really impressed when she had her matches in the Mae Young Classic, but she's come out as probably a bit of an enforcer for Ginny, and hits the Dominator on Zaya Brookside. Everyone else gets out of dodge. Zaya Brookside showing that fighting Liverpool spirit that we've seen in the last week in another sport known as football. We all know that is fake, and obviously professional wrestling is real, because that's why we do these videos. Yeah, so yeah, dominates Zaya Brookside on that one, and that's our introduction to Jazzy Gabbard. I'm very much looking forward to this. I wonder if she's going to team up with Rhea Ripley. That would be really cool, and we could get like a sort of a domination of the women's division. Anyway, speaking of domination, the next match is a qualifying match, and it is a singles match for the qualification to the #1 contenders fatal 4-way match in 2 weeks' time. It is Dave Mastiff, the bomber from the West Midlands, versus Wolfgang from Gallus, and he is in his hometown of Glasgow, Scotland. So the crowd is very much behind Wolfgang. Still, I felt that it kind of put him off his usual game plan. He comes out with a bit more intensity than he did in this match, usually. But Dave Mastiff definitely used that hometown advantage to Wolfgang's disadvantage. Wolfgang got a fair amount of offense in this match, but it was bomber Dave Mastiff who would continue his winning streak going into the fatal four-way match. He hits a cannonball senton after Wolfgang misses a howling, goes for the howling, misses it. Mastiff gets Wolfgang into a German suplex in the corner, hits the rolling cannonball senton, and that's it. Wolfgang is out. Mastiff doesn't even need to hit his proper finisher. And that's it. Dave Mastiff, the bomber, is your winner. I'm happy about that. I do like Wolfgang as well. If you ever seen a 300+ man fly off the top rope, then watch Wolfgang, because it's a sight to behold. Anyway, after this Gallus attack, Joe Coffey picks his spot here to attack probably his biggest rival in the Fatal 4-Way match in 2 weeks' time. In Dave Mastiff. So they attack, they hold Dave Mastiff down. Obviously there's no one going to come out and save Dave Mastiff, because the other competitor has not been decided yet, and obviously Jordan Devlin wouldn't bother because he's heel, bad guy, yeah. Anyway, Wolfgang does eventually hit the howling. Dave Mastiff cannot get out of the way, and they clear the ring of Dave Mastiff and celebrate in the ring with the Glaswegian crowd. And that is your lot for NXT UK number 43. So we're going to go into the outro. And so that is everything that happened on NXT UK episode number 43 this week. It aired on the 15th of May 2019 on the network, and it was filmed in the Braehead Arena in Glasgow. Okay, so went a bit Welsh there rather than Scottish. I don't even know where that went. Anyway, if you like the video, you know what to do. Hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and also hit a massive Walter-sized drop kick on that subscription button and a bitter end on that notification bell to know when we upload new content to the channel. I highly suggest you go and watch this show. It was very wrestling heavy, everything that you'd want from a weekly hour episode of NXT UK. Really picking up the pace, really good so far. After 43 episodes, and it's been really good since WrestleMania. So if it's not something you've watched, go and check out this episode. Really good main event, really good show. And obviously we've got Walter done 2 next week, and also obviously the Fatal 4-Way in 2 weeks' time. So that's all good. So we've got another couple of really good weeks coming up in NXT UK. You have been the Cheap Shot Nation, and thank you very much for hitting 200 subscribers since last August. We're on the up and up. We need more subscribers. Share us with your friends. If you're a casual watcher, just click that subscribe button. You don't have to click the notification bell, just that subscribe button helps us out loads and gets us out there for other people to watch. We are following the revolution of British wrestling, travelling around the country to bring you the best of what that has to offer. This is Cheap Shot Entertainment. I am your host Luke, and again, you are the Cheap Shot Nation. And we'll see you next time.